Hey everybody, this is Erin Davis, therapist with Hands of Hope. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about wellness today, and specifically how wellness and domestic violence don't go together. So we're going to use a tool today called the Wellness Wheel. Pretty easy Google search will help you find that wellness wheel. So let's take a look at that together. So you'll notice there are lots of parts of wellness. All of these things add up to our overall wellness, but you're not going to be able to focus on all of them at once. So don't get too overly excited. You'll notice that there's financial, spiritual, emotional, intellectual, physical, social, and environmental health. What we know in domestic violence is that these become very out of balance when we are looking at abuse. So let's take a little bit at what an unwell person in a possibly violent relationship might experience. They might experience financial abuse, which means that instead of having wellness, which means taking steps to live within your means, planning for a future with financial health, doing this with a partner, instead of being told what to do, instead of being able to have that experience, you're going to find that it is either hyper focused on spending too much money or hyper focused on what money means in the relationship instead of allowing that healthy financial experience where you can look at what you have and use what you have to do things together. Then we look at spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness can be a whole number of things, and exploration is a huge part of that. It's the process of understanding beliefs, values, and ethics. Okay, that's a big part of it. It's a process. Okay, so whatever your preferred approach is, you are allowed to spend time and ask and explore that part of your life. When we look at relationships that aren't healthy, oftentimes this is not allowed to flourish, or instead of being allowed to ask or explore, a very specific set of values is used to tell an individual in the relationship what to do. And that is not healthy. Emotional wellness is more about overall emotional health. So managing stress, okay, noting how your body and your emotions interact, being able to have and feel your emotions and express those emotions. Those are a part of emotional wellness. In violent relationships, and especially in emotionally violent relationships, emotions aren't allowed to exist unless they exist in a very specific way. One partner may tell another partner what they feel, and that is not appropriate. No one gets to tell anyone else how that person feels. You're only allowed to speak for yourself, okay? Healthy people express their own emotions and don't assume the emotions of others. So then when we look at intellectual wellness, this is really about getting that stimulation in the way that works for you. So a lot of people read for pleasure, being on top of social or political issues, joining clubs that focus on specific pursuits like gardening or crocheting or fitness clubs, whatever that is that stimulates your brain, stimulates that thought process, is really healthy. Not being allowed to do those things is very unhealthy. It is not well at all. So we want to make sure that if you see that red flag where you're not being allowed to engage in a specific intellectual pursuit, that's a problem. So we want to be sure that everyone gets to explore all of that. Physical wellness, eating well, exercising, sleep, managing stress again. You'll notice that physical and emotional wellness go hand in hand. Well, this also includes getting sexual health, okay? So physical wellness includes sexuality, which should always be voluntary. This is where we really see consent, and not just consent for sex, but consent for eating, exercising, consent in sleeping. So I really encourage folks, if you're not allowed to sleep like you need to sleep, that's a problem. If you are not allowed to eat what is good for you, that's a problem. If you are not allowed to go exercise the way that feels good for you, that's a problem. Okay, that is unhealthy, that is abusive. So then we look at social wellness. This involves having a strong social network, emphasis on network, okay? Relationships, plural, aiding in the development of healthy relationships, okay? So this is a very plural activity. Social wellness means more than one space. If you're in a relationship and that other person is the only person that you have a social connection to after a long period of time, that's a problem. Now, everybody has that time where they move to a new place with their partner and they don't have a lot of connections. So a socially well person will work to build those connections. And finally, environmental wellness. So taking care of your surroundings. So that can be decluttering, volunteering, and this could be volunteering for the local soup kitchen or volunteering for the homeless shelter or volunteering to do trash pickup or whatever it is, whatever your environment is. Lots of us, our environments are currently in our homes because COVID-19 has really pushed us to minimize our environment. So being able to take care of that and also not being forced to take care of that. If you find that you're spending all of your time in taking care of the house because your partner demands that of you, that's also a problem. So last but not least, I want you to look at all of these and understand that there is balance. There is an important time to focus on one area than another, but we should never be obsessed with one area. So if we start to get to that space, examine yourself and examine your relationships, see what's going on. And if you need some assistance with that, we're here to help, especially if you've noticed any of these the red flags that I've discussed within this wellness wheel. Please call us, talk to us, reach out. Especially if you need some assistance, you can reach out to us. Hands of Hope is at 765-664-0701, and Family Service Society is 765-662-9971. So if you're noticing things and you're not sure, or even if you are very sure and you would like to talk to somebody about it, please reach out to us. We believe you and we want to help. Thanks for your time and have a great day.